The Anarchy is a fallen-themed exotic obtainable as a random drop from completing the Scourge of the Past raid released with Black Armory. Yes, this is an exotic grenade launcher, but it's not a traditional grenade launcher in any sense. The Anarchy fires mines that stick to surfaces and enemies that deal ticks of damage and pulses of damage over the duration of time that the mine is active for. Each mine, when activated, lasts approximately 10 seconds after being detonated. Otherwise, though, an inactive mine lasts approximately 30 seconds. Multiple mines can be linked together, though, to provide more damage and a bigger area of effect by creating lines between each mine. The mines can be linked together up to 15 meters apart from one another. However, it doesn't completely fill an area with its area of effect damage, only where the lines and the lightning effect is shown. That being said, when you make certain shapes, it tries to cross-link certain mines. So if I were to make a square, it'll fill in that middle area a little bit more by crossing two lines in the square and have 4 triangles of empty space. Mines can stick to enemies and link at the same time, though, meaning if you were to stick it to multiple enemies, you can get other enemies caught in between those two enemies, which is actually pretty funny. Against a Lost Sector Ogre, 1 detonated mine dealt at most 786 damage, whereas 2 mines dealt double that at 1571 damage, and this is depending on if you stuck the mine on the enemy or how close they were to the radius of the mine. Anything after 2 mines, though, didn't deal any sort of additional damage, only increased the area of effect. Mines dealt 20 ticks of damage from what I can tell, and ended with a small explosion that also dealt a little bit of damage on top of the ticks of damage. A single mine stuck to a wall pointing towards the target, though, had an activation radius of approximately 4 meters and dealt actual damage within 2 to 3 meters. 2 linked mines in a line had an activation radius and dealt damage within only 1 meter, so I think it's best to assume that the radius is larger when the mine itself is facing a target or inside the area that the mines are linked to one another and facing each other, creating the line. In PvP, a target passing through linked mines took 135 damage, but could safely pass through a doorway completely covered by the mines and live. A player would actually have to stay in the radius or area of effect for 1 second to take 2 ticks of damage to die. This to me suggests that it's best used covering a wide area on a floor and not so much trying to cover or block off a doorway. So you can still cover doorways and passages, but it's not going to kill a target, it'll only heavily damage them. If you were planting them on the floor, I think it's only good in things like very narrow passageways where it's hard to shoot the mines down on the floor or avoid them by jumping, because in an open area, you can pretty much just jump to avoid this. I'm sure this would catch some people off guard and kill them even if you hid the mines pretty well in some tight corridors or hallways or rooms, but I only see it being even remotely useful in an actual scenario in Countdown, and even then you can just shoot the mines off the walls and the floor, so I don't think it's very useful in PvP. It's more of just a troll weapon that would be a lot of fun to use and catch people off guard with. A single mine stuck to a player, direct impact though, would kill indefinitely but not immediately, even if they're in their super, which is pretty cool. So a mine stuck to a super kills it in 8 seconds, which is quite a long time, and maybe they'd be out of their super by then, but I mean, hey, it does kill them no matter what. Without being stuck though, without direct impact, a super player would have to sit in the area of effect from these mines to take 5 ticks of damage to die to that area of effect. So I think it's safe to say that supers can pass through this pretty well unpunished. While I think this exotic is extremely lackluster in PvP, I think its utility and power in PvE makes up for it. And that's okay. In being a raid reward, I think it's okay to be not so great in PvP if it has a lot of cool, unique utility for PvE. This weapon's individual damage does lack in comparison to things like Whisper, Sleeper, even 1k voices, but that's not the highlight of this weapon. That's not the utility. The utility of this weapon is being able to stick 2 mines on a target or around a target to make a radius if you wanted to. Personally, I think just sticking the mines to the target and having at least 2 of them, which is not a lot of ammo, and gives you that maximum damage for a 10-second period. You stick them on the target, takes no time at all, switch to your Aikilo shotgun or your new threat level, and start going in on a target. So now you're getting the ability to deal damage with your Aikido shotgun or trench barrel shotgun, as well as have steady good damage from another source as well. So it's overall just increasing your DPS, which is really cool. Pretty much any boss in the game that you would use a trench barrel shotgun against to melt, this is a perfect fit for. You apply your 2 shots, almost like applying a damage over time effect, then you swap out, go to your shotgun, and go to town. And of course, you're not limited to trench barrel shotguns. You can swap out to any weapon you want to just continuously do damage on top of the damage that the Anarchy would be doing. I just think that the best case scenario would be with a trench barrel shotgun. You can even see in Gambit, you can put this on a primeval, put down a well, and then pull out your trench barrel shotgun and bake the boss. Between Gambit primevals, strike bosses, some raid bosses, I can think of a multitude of things that this is applicable to. Things like Kali, Shirochi are easy targets for this. Even if you're doing shotgun strat on Morgoth, this is applicable to that. There are so many bosses that you can use this against, because anything you'd be using in Aikilos or trench barrel shotgun on, this can be used with, I think. I know that this has some good crowd control ability between linking the mines and all that kind of stuff, but that doesn't excite me. What excites me is this utility of the weapon that I've talked about, and its DPS. It's very, very powerful, I think, and it has me wanting to get it. So special thanks to my clanmate Panda for letting me use his account to make this review and talk about this utility. So I'd say this weapon is definitely worth getting. It's very unique. It's got some really cool utility. I'd recommend doing the Scourge of the Past raid and going for a chance at it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you want to see more like it, you can check out my channel and subscribe. And if you're interested, I do have my Twitch link in the description below if you'd like to come out and hang out with me at some time. But if not, that's okay. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thanks.